That's when the Bokare later goes to meet in US and he was not arrested, and they arrested Nnamdi Kanu because there's a mission. People have to understand that, and we are still in one Nigeria. Unity of Nigeria is what we need. So you are not ready for unity of Nigeria. That is what I see, and I understand you. And that thing cannot work. You can go ahead, do anything you want. 2027 will flush you out with your message to Central Bank Governor Femi Kadoso, CBN Governor. You want to reduce 1,000 to disengage them from their work, and you expect to spend 50 trillion. Why? All you are doing is billion, 50 billion. You bought a vehicle, 6 vehicle, 10 billion. Yemi Kadoso. Then now you want to disengage people and they are dissing, all the money involved is 50 billion. Why? You own all this billion. You don't have thousands. It's billion, from billion to trillion. What are we talking about? Okay, those people that you want to engage, last one you remove them, you bring Yorubas. Are we in Yoruba Central Bank? We don't have North, East, South. No way. We are not in Central Bank. If your Oga send you there to disengage the whole Northern and South, we will not accept it, Oga. Do all what you want to do. 2027, you accept and your master, we will flog you out. Because South and East, you didn't even want us to be there. And we will not tolerate it any longer again. It will be seen that you are putting it only in one side, because last time you disengaged directors. You get 5 from the North, 6 from the South, and all those one remain, only you replace them with Yorubas. Why? Are we not Nigeria? Don't we vote Bola Tinubu? Why is it treating us like this? Why? Is it because our vote is a cost to us in the North and the East and the South, and you say we are one Nigeria? This is Odudua. It's not a distance. It's Odudua. We have said it. That is why when the Bokare later goes to meet in US and he was not arrested, and they arrested Nnamdi Kanu because there's a mission. People have to understand that, and we are still in one Nigeria. Unity of Nigeria is what we need. So you are not ready for unity of Nigeria. That is what I see, and I understand you. And that thing cannot work. You can go ahead, do anything you want. 2027 will flush you out with your Oga. We will the way Anyefele see how Anyefele it is. You're still facing the cases. You will face those cases in the court. Just wait the time to come. You will see it, inshallah.
Irin ta'addanci ne. Me muke bukata a kasar? Duk abin jin daɗin rayuwa babu, kuma rayuwar ma ba za a bar mu yi ba. Kisa babu gaira babu sabab. Jaharka inda ka fito suna zanga-zanga, suna cewa Allah ya tsine maka albarka. Baka da amfani a gurinsu. Me amfaninka? Menene shugabancin da ake mana a kasar? Ina amfanin sojoji da jami'an tsaro da kudaden da ake baku? Matsiyata, maciya amanar kasa, maciya amanar al'umma. Allah ya wargaza sha'aninku wallahi idan muku jaba. Wannan wani irin zalunci ne jama'a. Sannan a zo a yi magana wani banza, sakarai shi in ka fasa kama ni ko daure ni. Allah ya tsine wa uwarka albarka. Me kuke wa mutane? Me kuke wa al'umma? Jama'a ba su da masu rayu. Ba ku da amfani ga al'ummarku, ba ku da amfani ga jama'arku. Wallahi ba mu da wanda zai tseratar da mu daga wannan bala'i in ba Allah ba. Shugaban ƙasa ya gaza. Gwamnoni sun gaza, ‘yan majalisa sun gaza na tarayya da na dokoki, dokar ƙarya, dokar banza, dokar shan shayi da ɗiban kuɗin al'umma. Duk abubuwan da kuke mana al'umman Najeriya ta yi haƙuri, malamai su danna jama'a, su ce a yi haƙuri, a daure, a yi haƙuri. Sannan kuma rayuwar ma ba za a bari a yi ba. Duk abin da muka rasa mun haƙura, ana tararrashin al'umma, amma rayuwar ma a gagarayi. Rayuwa ba za ka rayu ba a Najeriya. Which kind of leadership we have in Nigeria? Wane irin shugabanci muke da shi a Najeriya? What is our people done to deserve this? We are asking you, Mr. President.
We were called parasites. Today we are declaring that we, the Northerners, are the economic heart of Nigeria. And nobody can address us as parasites. We are the economic heart of Nigeria. The oil that is so being busted on today was discovered, harnessed, and the refineries were constructed with the northern Nigerian sweat, with the northern Nigerian economy, with the northern Nigerian money. The money of granite, pyramid, and cotton was the one that was used to research, discover, and build the refineries that are some other part of Nigeria are claimed to be their own personal property. If that is the case, we also deserve, just like NNDC and Niger Delta Ministry, there should be a Northern Development Ministry that should also be given the same amount of money that is given to NNDC, because our money was the money that was used to develop the oil. That's number one. Number two, those that got education, early education from the south, southwest, and southeast, got those education from the northern economy, from our own money, from the northern sweat. And by the grace of God today, the northern Nigeria also, even if you are boosting of oil, has been discovered in Badeje village within Gombe, Bauchi, and Taraba along the Chad Basin. And that was why those people are instigating the Boko Haram, so that there will be no peace in that area for us to be able to harness the oil and others that were discovered within that area. We have a deposit of gold in Birningwari that is more than the deposit of gold in South Africa and Ghana. And that was why we are having the banditry also in Birningwari axis, so that we will not be allowed to harness it. Same goes to Zamfara, and that's why we are having the banditry within that axis. So we are saying enough is enough. If we will continue to coexist as in Nigeria as Nigerians, the Northerners are ready to do that. That was why we have been accommodating. Today, the number of our people that are being killed and the property being destroyed in the south, southwest, and southeast, in Kano and Kaduna alone, the number of Igbos and Yorubas that are resident in Kano and Kaduna alone are far greater than the number of Northerners that reside in the entire south, southwest, and southeast. Also, the billions of investment of Yorubas and Igbos that is in Kaduna and Kano alone is far greater than the investment of the entire Northerners in the south, southwest, and southeast. If you remove Bua and Dangote, those are international businessmen. So, if you think you will continue to destroy the life and properties of our people resident in your area, what if we decide to retaliate what you are doing? Who is going to be the loser? How much of investment do we have in the East? All our people that are in the East are either tomato sellers, wheelbarrow pushers, Okada riders, suya makers, shoe shiner, fingernail cutter. Those are the Northerners mostly resident in the south, southwest, and southeast. But if you go to Kaduna and Kano and other part of northern Nigeria, an Igbo man owns a personal house with CFO. He owns...
Hello my people, now welcome back to Local Banger. Now know as they be for you now. Some Northerners now they come outside now, they talk say if Tinubu no release Nnamdi Kanu for the 2027 election, they go pull am off, they go comot am. Now basically some of them they talk, and some of them they complain. Even as they say, I know say normally now they say for this video, I go play the full video for una, make you hear within some of them they talk. And some of them now don't they come outside again, they talk say waiting that they face for this country, that they feel hunger they knack them, this so things that they complain about many things, say now them be the owner of the fuel where we say we they use for this country. Just watch the full video and see how the thing they happen, how in they solve for here. And if now today be the first time where we see come across this our channel, now beg now with the beg una, make sure say you subscribe to our channel so that when we post anything for this channel, now you go be the first person will be say they go notify. Just watch the full video and see. Thank you all.
Were called parasites. Today we are declaring that we, the Northerners, are the economic heart of Nigeria. And nobody can address us as parasites. We are the economic heart of Nigeria. The oil that is so being busted on today was discovered, harnessed, and the refineries were constructed with the northern Nigerian sweat, with the northern Nigerian economy, with the northern Nigerian money. The money of granite, pyramid, and cotton was the one that was used to research, discover, and build the refineries that are some other part of Nigeria are claimed to be their own personal property. If that is the case, we also deserve, just like NNDC and Niger Delta Ministry, there should be a Northern Development Ministry that should also be given the same amount of money that is given to NNDC, because our money was the money that was used to develop the oil. That's number one. Number two, those that got education, early education from the south, southwest, and southeast, got those education from the northern economy, from our own money, from the northern sweat. And by the grace of God today, the northern Nigeria also, even if you are boosting of oil, has been discovered in Badeje village within Gombe, Bauchi, and Taraba along the Chad Basin. And that was why those people are instigating the Boko Haram, so that there will be no peace in that area for us to be able to harness the oil and others that were discovered within that area. We have a deposit of gold in Birningwari that is more than the deposit of gold in South Africa and Ghana. And that was why we are having the banditry also in Birningwari axis, so that we will not be allowed to harness it. Same goes to Zamfara, and that's why we are having the banditry within that axis. So we are saying enough is enough. If we will continue to coexist as in Nigeria as Nigerians, the Northerners are ready to do that. That was why we have been accommodating. Today, the number of our people that are being killed and the property being destroyed in the south, southwest, and southeast, in Kano and Kaduna alone, the number of Igbos and Yorubas that are resident in Kano and Kaduna alone are far greater than the number of Northerners that reside in the entire south, southwest, and southeast. Also, the billions of investment of Yorubas and Igbos that is in Kaduna and Kano alone is far greater than the investment of the entire Northerners in the south, southwest, and southeast. If you remove Bua and Dangote, those are international businessmen. So, if you think you will continue to destroy the life and properties of our people resident in your area, what if we decide to retaliate what you are doing? Who is going to be the loser? How much of investment do we have in the East? All our people that are in the East are either tomato sellers, wheelbarrow pushers, Okada riders, suya makers, shoe shiner, fingernail cutter. Those are the Northerners mostly resident in the south, southwest, and southeast. But if you go to Kaduna and Kano and other part of northern Nigeria, an Igbo man owns a personal house with CFO. He owns a skyrocketed building that he's even renting out to even Northerners themselves. You go to the remotest village, you find him having a farm of his own, his personal farmland. You don't have any Northerner that owns a house in the south, southwest, or southeast. So we are saying we are ready to coexist as Nigerians. But if you think you don't want it that way, then the North is ready to be separated from the South. In fact, we have more than enough to take care of ourselves and to make Northern Nigeria greater. And while you are calling for Odua Republic and calling for Biafra, we in the North will remain as Nigerians. Northern Nigeria will remain as Nigeria because we are true Nigerians. So with this, we are passing this message to the federal government, to the eastern and western state governors, that every Northerner that has been killed, every property of any northerner that has been destroyed, we are saying that the government of those states that those incidents happen must pay our people. You must pay compensation. We will no longer tolerate the killing of our people. We will no longer tolerate the destruction of properties of our people anymore. If not, we have done it in the past, we will do it again. We don't want to do it. So we are passing a word of warning. They said a word is enough for the wise. I repeat, compensation must be paid for every penny, for every dime that has been lost by a northerner. Be him a Fulani man, be him a Hausa man, be him a TV man, be him an Arago man, or any other tribe that is in the north that any of his property or life has been destroyed. The state governors will be responsible and they must pay us. If they don't, they should not blame us for whatever action we will take. We are passing a word of warning and we are giving a 30 days ultimatum. From today, we are giving those state governors
Today, I feel that I apologize to our fathers like Dabaduri, like Medford of Kilo, that they were not wrong in forming an alliance with the North. And as young men, we will now start that same alliance now. As I am today, from today, I will walk and form alliance with the North and to crush all of the opposition. Because those who hate us, whatever we do for them does not mean anything to them. Whatever job people do to them does not mean anything to them. We go all over Jordan. We will take this message that it's only the Northerners that can work with the job people. We cannot work with the Yoruba people. They are betrayers to us. We risked our life, voted, did everything. This is what we get.
You know, but you must understand that this is not just about landmark. There's an Igbo problem in Nigeria. That's why they're holding Nnamdi Kanu.
What's your take on
for asking
Nnamdi Kanu's
for
perpetual
Biafra.
detention?
And then we are rehabilitating Boko Haram commanders. He said 220,000 of them have surrendered with foreign currency in their hand. And you have rehabilitated them. But one guy who says, we want justice, we don't want to stay in Nigeria, you are holding him perpetually, using the judiciary or judicial, subterfuge to keep the trial. And everybody who knows what they are doing understand that it's not a judicial matter.
So Nnamdi is essentially a political prisoner.
He's a political hostage. Well, I'll call him not a political because he may not. Whomever is in power, except me, will keep him in jail.
So do you think that Igbos generally are endangered species in Nigeria? Going back what you just narrated.
The truth, that's the truth. Nigeria did not forgive Igbos since the end of the Civil War.
What did they do?
Because they challenged the real estate of the British called Nigeria. So, and they didn't forgive them since then. So everything has been done after that. We know this is the unspoken truth about the country called Nigeria, that they did not forgive Igbos for the Civil War.
The Igbos were the victims and they have forgiven the victims. So why is it difficult for the victors to...
You are preaching to the choir.
And because he had mentioned once that, in an interview he had mentioned that the Igbos will never be president of Nigeria. That is a perpetual, narration to keep the Igbos the way they are.
Yes, so no, it's not about even the presidency. If they find an Igbo man that is malleable, that can work in their interests, they can make him president if he doesn't have any power. You can be a president of, you can be a president of Nigeria and not have the powers of the president. When they wanted to destroy the landmark, who was the minister in charge? It's not an Igbo man.
And Moka is Igbo speaking, also fighting.
It's easier for them to use an Igbo man to carry out. If it was done by a Yoruba man, the uproar would have been worse. But you find an Igbo minister of works to help you demolish Igbo businessmen. You say, can't you see them? So it's easier that way. It's manipulation. It's how Nigeria manipulate people. But I'm not saying that if he was a Yoruba minister, he cannot demolish. They will do it too. This is easy. Anybody could have done it as long as there's an agreement to do it. Because beyond just ethnicity, there's also an elite conspiracy against Nigerian people. So an average poor person is endangered. But you are likely more endangered if you have committed a generational crime against the Nigerian real estate. Owned
by being an Igbo man.
Of course, that's the truth. You know, that's why you were saying, oh, you're Yoruba man. You know, if based on what I say, they even tell me I'm not Yoruba enough. You know, but I'm of mixed heritage. There's a part of me that is Ijo.
Okay.
And we are the Ijo speaking Yorubas. We're the Yoruba speaking Ijos in Ondo State.
Okay.
So they call us Ijo Apoy.
Ilaje area.
No, it's Ilaje. So we're next to Ilaje.
Okay.
But my great grandparents came from Yoruba side of things. But the stream that Shore is named after is in Ijebu waterside. Because that's how they came. So, but you know, I don't speak to people based on ethnicity. I don't define myself based on my ethnic heritage, even though I do not deny it. But because it underlies our humanity to be assigned an ethnic position before you can be respected. Are you getting my point? Or before your views can carry on, so you have to be a Yoruba man, and then it was all.
So we've had
Here comes
Rwanda.
one of them.
We've had Rwanda manage the same ethnic issue in their country with the Tutsi thing after years of genocide.
Are you sure they managed it?
Well, to a reasonable
they have to
extent.
manage it through genocide. And Nigeria
After
also,
genocide management.
So this is what you should understand.
Okay.
Nigeria also managed the Igbo problem through genocide. 4 million Igbos. So
yeah, I was coming to that.
Is that not genocide? But
well,
you know the problem
this?
I have sometimes even with some of our people is that the same people who shot and killed them are more popular in their midst than those who support their rights. The Obasanjos of this world are embraced as authentic people, but these are the people who went and used third commando to massacre Igbos. What did they name this airport after? Murtala Mohammed, one of the most notorious killers of Igbos. Buhari, they kill Igbos. Danjuma, they kill Igbos. Gowon, they kill Igbos. But they even love them more than they love those of us who are fighting. People challenge me that they hate me because I support Nnamdi Kanu, and I say so be it, because I know that I'm supporting justice, and I cannot support injustice because I want political favors from a country. If you want to keep carrying out genocide of political nature or continuation of it, you can go ahead. Keep voting for the criminals who are perpetrating it. Let the forest be voting for the axe because the handle is from one of them.
Okay. Yeah, I said something. I would like you to touch more on it. I mean, the Igbos were the victims. Now they are forgiving the victors. There is no place you don't find the footprints of Igbos across the length and breadth.
That's why I say you are preaching to the choir. Igbos are not only in Nigeria, they are all over the world. I went to Alabama in the US, and the only pharmacist there is an Igbo man. Selma, Alabama. You've heard about Selma?
Yeah.
It's one of the homes of the civil rights movement, where they cross that Petra Bridge.
Exactly.
Igbo man is there. Most likely that's what you find in every community in the US. Igbos are distributed all over the world. There's this urban legend that if Igbos cannot live in a place, the place is not livable. There was a time a New York Times reporter came to Gamboru Ngala after Boko Haram sacked the place. The only person they found there who was not a Boko Haram member was an Igbo pharmacist. So what are you doing here? He said, well, somebody has to treat them. He was that courageous not to stay there. So I'm saying all these things so that you can understand that I understand probably more consciously better than most people do. And that informs the reason I can speak categorically about the victimization of Igbo. Otherwise, it is a taboo. Politically, it is incorrect to say that Igbos are victimized by an average Nigerian.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
So let's move
because nobody wants to hear the truth. And when you say, if somebody is watching me and get out of this, what's your problem now? Leave these Igbo people alone. You understand? That is the truth. But I cannot, my conscience cannot allow me to accommodate the genocide of 3 million people, or 4 million people, and then the continuation of that denunciation of their existence through persecution, in which the Nigerian state is carrying out, either through Landmark or Nnamdi Kanu, or, look, I told a story, I think it was on the Honest Punch, that in this country, there was a time they were beheading Igbos, putting their heads in calabash and putting on the trains going east.
Do you think that's what's happening in the East right now? Speaking about militarization of the East.
Pogrom, you understand? And that's why they're doing it. It's what they're doing. When we did August, what did we ask for? Demilitarization of the East and release of Nnamdi Kanu was one of our demands. But it was the most denounced demands, even by human rights people. They told us, no, don't include Kanu in your demands. Otherwise, we will not join you. Because Nigeria has been made to believe that a crime committed against Igbo doesn't fall under human rights abuse.
So let's speak about that crime against Igbo, because a popular, I think I read in your paper recently.
And unfortunately also, the Ohanese people said they should not join the protests, that they are negotiating with Tinubu. They even said that he will release him for Christmas gift, as if he's a Christmas goat.
Oh, Jesus. All right, so speaking about this militarization of the Southeast, recently I read in your platform, a popular media mogul, one of the media platform in Lagos State, was dehumanized in the Southeast. He was traveling through Anambra State to Asaba Airport, and he was accosted. He and about 3 DSS officials were accosted by military personnel who, you know, dehumanized them, told them to lie on the floor. In fact, told them they were going to shoot at them. Told them that they were IPOB. Do you think there has been accusations that most of the people killed in the Southeast in the guise of IPOB are really not IPOB?
Exactly.
That they were killed by military. Do you think that this is exactly what's happening?
Burning down villages, Nigerian army. They are burning down villages. Like, if you are 17 years old in the East, you carry any kind of hairstyle and you run into a military checkpoint, you're automatically targeted. It's profiling.
Oh, wow.
You understand? But go to Katsina. Listen to this before we end this broadcast. The government in Katsina said a whole local government with tons of bandits have only 5 policemen in their area. They have only 1 vehicle, no military. But there are bandits all over the place. Why is it that banditry and terrorism in the north is treated with kid gloves, and people who are asking for what is recognized by the United Nations as self-governance, the request for self-governance, is treated as a crime against the state? But terrorism is not treated the same way in the East. I traveled in the northern part of Nigeria during the election in 2019 and also in 2023. You can drive all the way from some of the most, bandits havens.
Dangerous points.
And there will be no policeman or army on the way.
Okay.
But you cannot travel in the East today. Is 1 kilometer, 1 military battalion.
Unfortunately, that is what it is. Before we leave, can I ask you a personal question?
Go ahead.
You have we have spoken a lot here, and you are more like a repetition of speaking truth to power. Oh, sure, already you fear for your life.
It's too late. My life